Hey there. Tonight, we are going to dismantle a lie that has been told for over 150 years, a lie that you and I and everyone we know accepted as the truth. We are going to talk about the others, the ones who came before, the ones we were taught to mock. Picture a Neanderthal. You know the image, the hunched back, the slack jaw, the hairy, brutish creature dragging a club through the snow, too stupid to speak, too primitive to survive, the loser of history. Now, erase that image. Burn it, because everything about it is wrong. The truth is much darker and much more beautiful. We are going to uncover a story of sophisticated artists who painted in the pitch black of deep caves. We are going to find graves filled with pollen, where grieving families laid their dead to rest on beds of flowers. We are going to look at evidence of crippled, blind elders who were kept alive for years by their community, simply out of love. And most unsettling of all, we are going to look at the blood running through your veins right now, because they didn't just vanish. They are in you. They are your family. If you find a strange sense of peace in uncovering the buried secrets of the deep past, if knowing that humanity has always been a complex, tangled web of survivors helps you rest, then go ahead and gently leave a like and subscribe. Let's walk back into the Ice Age together. Now, let the modern world fade away. Look around your room. The shadows in the corners are lengthening. The artificial lights of the city outside are dimming. It is time to turn inward. Turn off the light. Let the room go dark. Lie down. Pull the covers up to your chin. Feel the weight of the fabric. It is a shield. It is a layer of warmth in a cold universe. Let your head sink into the pillow. Feel the muscles in your neck unclench. Let your jaw relax. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Take a deep breath. In, holding the air in your lungs, and out, letting the tension flow out of your fingertips and toes. You are safe here. You are warm, but your mind is going to drift. It is drifting back through the years, back through the centuries, back through the millennia. We are going to peel back the layers of time like the pages of a very old, very dusty book. Imagine a library, an infinite library of silence. You are walking down a long hallway. The air smells of old paper, of leather binding, and of dust. Step, step, step. Your footsteps echo on the wooden floor. You are walking past the section of modern history. You pass the World Wars. You pass the Industrial Revolution. You pass the Renaissance. You keep walking. You pass the Roman Empire. You pass the pyramids of Egypt. You are going deeper, into the deep time. The lights in the hallway are getting dimmer. The air is getting colder. You are walking into the prehistoric wing. Here, there are no books. There are only stones and bones and whispers. Stop here. In the center of this dark room, there is a mirror, a tall, silver mirror, covered in a fine layer of gray dust. Walk up to it. Look at your reflection. You see your face, your eyes, your skin. But tonight, we are going to look deeper than the skin. We are going to look into the blood. Honestly, it is a strange feeling, isn't it? To think about what makes us, us. We like to think we are pure. Homo sapiens, the wise man, the winners. But the mirror tells a different story. Imagine you could see your DNA. Imagine it as a double helix, spinning slowly in the dark, glowing with a faint blue light, a spiral staircase going down into the microscopic unknown. If you are of European or Asian descent, look closely at that staircase. There are bricks in that wall that do not belong to modern humans. About 2%, maybe 3, maybe 4. It sounds small, but it is millions of letters of code. It is a ghost in the machine. It is the Neanderthal. They are not gone. They are hiding inside you. They affect the shape of your skull. They affect the texture of your hair. They affect how your skin reacts to the sun. They affect how your immune system fights off a virus. They are whispering in your blood. We are here. We survived. Let's stay with this feeling for a moment. The feeling of being a vessel for ghosts. It is a heavy thought, but it is not a scary one. It is a grounding one. It connects you to the earth. It connects you to the ice. Imagine the Ice Age, not as a movie, but as a physical sensation. Close your eyes and feel the temperature drop. The air in your room is warm, but in your mind, the wind is picking up. Whoosh. It is a cold wind, a wind that has traveled over thousands of miles of glaciers. It smells of snow. It smells of pine needles crushed under heavy boots. It smells of wood smoke from a distant fire. You are standing on a ridge, looking out over a valley in Europe, 40,000 years ago. The trees are black skeletons against a gray sky. The ground is hard, frozen iron, and there, in the distance, you see a figure. It is not a monster. It is not an ape. It is a man. He is standing by a cave entrance. He is short, stocky. His chest is broad, like a barrel. His muscles are thick, coiled like springs under his skin. He is built for the cold. He is a child of the winter. He is wrapped in furs, bison hide, bear skin. He turns and looks at you. Look at his face. Really look at it. Yes, the brow is heavy, a ridge of bone over his eyes, shading them from the snow glare. Yes, the nose is broad, huge, designed to warm the freezing air before it hits his lungs. But look at the eyes. They are not empty. They are not stupid. They are deep. They are amber-colored. They are filled with a profound, quiet intelligence. And they are filled with sadness. Or maybe it is just the melancholy of survival. He blinks. He does not growl. He does not attack. He raises a hand, a gesture of recognition, because he knows you, and you know him. He is your grandfather, 10,000 times removed. He turns and walks back into the dark of the cave. And you follow him. We are going to follow him into the dark. But before we see his world, we have to understand how we lost him. We have to understand the tragedy of how we forgot him. Why did we think he was a brute? Why did we think he was a failure? To answer that, we have to leave the Ice Age. We have to travel forward again, to a time of top hats and steam engines, to a time of arrogance, to the year 1856, the Victorian era. Imagine the noise of industry, the clanking of machines, the smoke of coal factories blotting out the sun. It was a time when humans thought they were the masters of the universe. We thought we were separate from nature, above it. We had conquered the globe. We had mapped the stars. We believed in progress, the straight line of history, leading inevitably to us. The Victorian scientists sat in their leather armchairs, in their gentlemen's clubs, drinking brandy and congratulating themselves on being the pinnacle of creation. They had a box in their minds. In this box, they put humanity, civilized, smart, moral. Outside the box, they put animals, wild, instinctive, dumb. There was nothing in between. There was no bridge. They did not want a bridge, because if there was a bridge, if there was a creature that was half human and half something else, then they weren't special anymore. They were just another animal, and that terrified them. It terrified them more than any ghost story. So when the bones started coming out of the ground, they panicked. They didn't see what was there. They saw what they times wanted times to see. They saw a monster. They took the bones of a thoughtful, artistic, compassionate human being, and they built a cage of lies around him. They bent his spine. They twisted his knees. They made him hunch over like a gorilla. They stole his dignity. For 150 years, we have been laughing at a caricature. We have been using Neanderthal as an insult. Don't be such a Neanderthal. He acts like a Neanderthal. Imagine if your grandfather could hear you say that. Imagine if the artist who painted the red handprints on the cave wall in Spain could hear you. Imagine if the mother who buried her child with a flint tool in France could hear you. It is a tragedy of misunderstanding, a tragedy of ego. But tonight we are going to apologize. We are going to set the record straight. We are going to walk into that valley in Germany where the first bones were found. We are going to pick up the pickaxe. We are going to dig through the debris of history, and we are going to find the truth. You can feel your body getting heavier. The mattress is holding you up. Your breathing is slow. In, out. The modern world is gone. The noise of the traffic is gone. There is only the sound of the wind in the trees, the sound of a river flowing over limestone rocks, the sound of the year 1856. It is summer, August. The air is hot and humid. You are drifting towards a valley called Neander. It means New Man's Valley, a poetic name for a place of old ghosts. You are floating down into the valley. The trees are green. The cliffs are white. You can hear the sound of metal striking stone. Clang, clang, clang. It is a rhythmic sound, a hypnotic sound, the sound of quarry workers. They are breaking the earth apart. They don't know what they are about to find. They don't know they are about to break the world's understanding of itself. But you know. You are watching. Drift closer. Float down to the riverbank. Feel the cool dampness of the shade. Smell the dust of the limestone. The story is about to begin. The bones are waiting. They have been waiting for 40,000 years. They are patient. Let yourself sink into the patience of the earth. Let yourself sink into the deep geological sleep. We are going to meet the old ones. The year is 1856. It is August, the height of summer in the Prussian Rhine province. The air is thick with heat, and the drone of cicadas. Buzz, buzz, buzz. A relentless, sleepy sound that vibrates in the afternoon air. We are in the Neander Valley. The Times Neanderthal asterisk. It is a beautiful place, or at least it used to be. Steep limestone cliffs rise up on either side of the Dussel River, like the walls of a cathedral built by giants. The river flows at the bottom, cool and dark, winding its way through the dense forest of beech and oak trees. But the silence of the valley is being broken. Listen, boom, an explosion. Gunpowder blasting through rock. Rumble, clatter, the sound of falling stones echoing off the cliff walls. Then, the sound of pickaxes. Clink, thud, clink, thud. It is the rhythm of the Industrial Revolution. The quarry workers are here. They are eating the mountain. They need the limestone. They need it for cement, for buildings, for the expanding cities of Europe. They do not care about the beauty of the gorge. They only care about the stone. Imagine you are one of these workers. Your name is not recorded in history. You are just a pair of hands. Your hands are rough, calloused, covered in white limestone dust. The dust is everywhere. It is in your hair, in your eyelashes, in the creases of your clothes. It tastes like chalk. It dries out your throat. You are tired. You have been swinging a pickaxe since dawn. Swing, impact, jar. The shock travels up your arms, into your shoulders. Your muscles ache. You are standing on a ledge, about 60 feet up the cliff face. You are clearing away debris, dirt, clay, loose rocks to get to the good limestone underneath. You swing your pickaxe again. Clunk. It hits something soft. Not rock, not quite dirt. You stop. You wipe the sweat from your forehead with the back of your dusty hand. You look down. There is a hole, a small, dark opening in the cliff face that you have just uncovered. It was hidden behind centuries of rubble and vegetation, a secret pocket in the stone. A cave, the Kleine Feldhofer Grotte, the small Feldhofer Grotto. It is not a magnificent cavern. It is small, narrow, filled with sticky clay and mud. It smells damp. It smells of earth that hasn't breathed for millennia. You sigh. To you, it is just more mud to clear, more work. You crawl inside, your knees sinking into the loam. It is cool in here. A relief from the August sun. You start to dig. You shovel the clay out, throwing it down the cliffside. Scrape, toss, scrape, toss. Then, your shovel hits something hard. Thok, a different sound. Hollow, dull. You dig around it. You pull it out. It is a bone. Long, thick, curved. It looks like a thigh bone, a femur, but it is heavy, heavier than any bone you have ever held. It feels like stone. It is stained, a dark, reddish brown, by the minerals in the clay. You toss it aside. Clatter. Cave bear, you think. Cave bears are common here. Their bones are trash. They are of no value to a quarryman. You keep digging. Another bone. An arm bone. Thick, robust. Then, a piece of a hip, a rib, and then the skull. Or rather, the top of a skull, the skull cap. You pick it up, hold it in your hands, feel the weight of it. It is not like a bear skull. It is round, domed, but it is not like a human skull either, not like yours. Run your mental fingers over it. The bone is incredibly thick, twice as thick as a normal man's. And the front, the forehead. There is no forehead. Instead, there is a massive, bony ridge running right across the eyes, a shelf of bone, the supraorbital torus. It looks intense. It looks powerful. You stare at it in the dim light of the cave. The empty sockets stare back at you. Who was this? Was it a monster? A deformed hermit? A soldier from the Napoleonic Wars who crawled in here to die? You don't know. And honestly, you don't care much. You toss the skull cap onto the pile of rubble with the bare bones. Clatter. It rolls down the slope, coming to rest in the dirt. You go back to work. The limestone is waiting. But fate is watching. Down in the valley, there is a man, Johann Karl Fulrott. He is a local teacher, a naturalist, a man who loves old things. He hears about the bones. The quarry owner mentions them in passing. Found some old bear bones up in the Feldhofer cave. Fulrott feels a pull, a curiosity. He climbs up to the quarry. Imagine the walk. The sun is setting now. The air is cooling. The birds are singing the evening chorus. Chirp, trill, tweet. He reaches the pile of debris. He sees the bones sticking out of the mud. He picks up the skull cap. He wipes the dirt away with his thumb. Rub, rub. He feels the texture. Smooth, fossilized. He looks at the brow ridge. His heart skips a beat. Thump. He knows anatomy. He knows bears. This is not a bear. This is human. But it is impossible. Humans don't look like this. Humans have high foreheads. Humans have delicate brow ridges. This thing looks ancient. It looks primitive. He looks at the limb bones. They are bowed, curved, and the attachment points for the muscles. They are huge. Whatever this was, it was incredibly strong, much stronger than a modern man. Fulrott stands there in the fading light, holding the skull of the Neanderthal. He is the first person in history to truly see times it. He realizes, with a shiver that has nothing to do with the cold, that he is holding a ghost from a time before history. He wraps the bones carefully in his coat. He carries them down the hill. He takes them to his study. He lights a kerosene lamp. Flicker. The yellow light dances on the brown bone. He measures. He sketches. He thinks. He knows that if he is right, the world will never be the same. If he is right, Adam and Eve were not the first. If he is right, We are not alone in the history of the earth. He takes the bones to a bigger expert, Hermann Schaffhausen, an anatomist. They look at them together. They whisper, "It is ancient," Schaffhausen agrees. "It is from the time of the mammoths." They publish a paper. They present the Neanderthal man to the world, and the world laughs. The scientific community of 1856 explodes in denial. Rudolf Virchow, the greatest pathologist of his time, looks at the bones. He sneers. "This is not an ancient ancestor," he says. "This is a diseased idiot." He points to the brow ridges, deformation caused by constant frowning. He points to the bowed legs, rickets, vitamin D deficiency, probably a Cossack rider from the Russian army who died in 1814. A Cossack, a hermit, an idiot, anything but the truth. Anything to avoid admitting that humans evolved, anything to keep the human box pure. They mocked the bones. They mocked fuel rot. They pushed the Neanderthal back into the darkness. "It is just a sick man," they said. "Ignore it." And so, the misconception began. The seed of the caveman was planted, not because the bones were brutish, but because the scientists were blind. They looked at a masterpiece of adaptation, a being built to survive the Ice Age, and they saw a broken version of themselves. Let's pause here. Let the frustration of history fade. Let the voices of the arrogant scientists drift away. Focus on the bones lying on Fuhlrot's desk. They are silent. They do not care what names they are called. They have survived glaciers. They have survived hyenas. They have survived 40,000 years of burial. They can survive a few years of mockery. Imagine the room where the bones are resting. It is night. The lamp has burned low. The room is quiet. The dust settles on the brown skull. It is peaceful. The spirit of the Neanderthal is waiting. He is patient. He knows who he is. He is the first European. He is the master of the ice. He is waiting for us to catch up, and we will. But it will take time. It will take another 100 years before we really look into his eyes. For now, let him rest. Let the valley of Neander sleep. The river flows. The trees grow. The quarry falls silent. You are drifting away from 1856. You are drifting back to your bed. You are safe in the knowledge that truth, like a bone in the earth, eventually comes to the surface. You carry that truth in your own DNA. You are part of the story. Feel the heaviness of your own bones, solid, strong, supporting you. Feel the legacy of survival in your own breath. In, out. The past is not gone. It is just sleeping. And now, so are you. Drift, float, sink into the deep geological time. The rocks are your pillow. The earth is your blanket. Sleep. The year is 1908. We are moving forward in time, but the dust of history is getting thicker. We leave the sunlit valley of Neander. We travel to France, to a region called Corrèze. It is a landscape of limestone hills and green valleys, similar to Germany, but softer, older. In a small cave near the village of La Chapelle-aux-Sens, 3 priests' brothers are digging. They are looking for history, and they find him. The old man. This is not just a skull cap like in Germany. This is a nearly complete skeleton. He is lying in a pit, dug into the limestone floor. He is sleeping in the fetal position, knees drawn up to his chest, protecting himself from the cold of eternity. He has been sleeping there for 60,000 years. Imagine the silence of that grave, the weight of the earth pressing down on him, the absolute stillness. The priests lift him out, scrape, brush, lift. They disturb his rest. They pack his bones into boxes. They send him to Paris, to the Museum of National History, to the office of a man named Marcelin Boule. Let us step into that office. It is a room defined by the smell of old paper, varnish, and formaldehyde. It is a room of judgment. Marcellin Boule is the most famous paleontologist of his time. He is a man of the establishment, a man of stiff collars and rigid ideas. He sits at a heavy oak desk. The light from the gas lamp casts long, flickering shadows on the walls. He opens the box. He takes out the bones of the old man. He lays them out on the velvet cloth. He looks at them, but he does not look with the eyes of compassion. He looks with the eyes of a Victorian judge staring at a criminal. He has already decided what he wants to see. He wants to see a brute. He wants to see a savage. He wants to see the other. He picks up the spine. Look closely at the vertebrae. They are fused. They are eroded. Click, clack. He fits them together. The spine curves. It does not stand straight. It forces the head forward. Boule notes. Ah, he whispers. He slouched. He could not stand upright. He walked like an ape. He picks up the knee joint. It is rough, deformed, bent knees. Boule writes in his notebook. The scratch of the pen is loud in the silent room, a shambling gait, like a chimpanzee. He picks up the skull. He sees the heavy jaw, the lack of a chin, slack-jawed. He writes, stupid, incapable of moral thought. He is building a monster, bone by bone. He is constructing the myth of the caveman. He calls an artist. He tells the artist what to draw. Make him hairy, he says. Make him hold a club. Make him look vacant. And so, the image is born. The image that will haunt our nightmares for a century. The hairy, hunchbacked beast. But let us look closer. Let us look with modern eyes. Let us look with the eyes of a doctor. Zoom in on the spine. Those rough patches, that fusing, that is not a primitive trait. That is pain. That is severe, crippling osteoarthritis. The old man of La Chapelle was not a brute. He was a grandfather. He was old, maybe 40 or 50 years old, ancient for the Ice Age. Every step he took was agony, crunch, grind, wince, bone rubbing against bone, the cartilage gone. He had a broken rib that had healed. He had lost most of his teeth. He had gum disease. He could not chew his own food. Think about what that means. In a world of wolves and lions, in a world of ice and starvation, how does a toothless, crippled old man survive? He cannot hunt. He cannot run. By the laws of nature, he should have died in the snow decades ago. The wolves should have taken him. But he didn't die. Why? Because someone loved him. Someone chewed his food for him. Imagine that. A daughter, or a son, or a mate, sitting by the fire in the cave, taking a piece of tough bison meat, chewing it until it was soft, and gently feeding it to the old man. Eat, they would say. Stay with us. They supported him when he walked. They rubbed his aching back. They kept him warm. They valued him. Maybe for his stories, maybe for his knowledge of the herds, or maybe just because he was family. Marcellin Boule looked at the bones and saw a beast. We look at the bones and see the first evidence of human compassion. We see care. We see a society that did not leave the weak behind. Drift back to the museum in Paris. The gas lamp flickers. Boule puts the bones back in the box. He closes the lid. Thud. He thinks he has categorized a specimen. He does not know he has imprisoned a soul. The old man goes back into the dark. He waits. He waits for the 1950s. He waits for the new scientists to come and clear his name. But for now, he sleeps in the museum, surrounded by the silence of the archives. The dust settles on the cabinet. Hush, hush, layer upon layer of time. You can feel the sadness of it, the melancholy of being misunderstood. But there is peace in it too, because the truth is there, written in the calcium. It cannot be erased. The arthritis is the proof of the love. The pain is the proof of the humanity. Let the image of the museum fade. Let the smell of the old paper dissolve. You are leaving 1908. You are drifting further back, deep into the time of the old man, before the arthritis, before the death, back to when he was young, back to when the Neanderthals were the masters of the world. Feel the air getting colder in your room. Feel the walls expanding. You are entering the Ice Age. You are entering the realm of the body built for winter. The museum walls dissolve into white mist. The silence of the archive is replaced by the roaring of the wind. Whoosh, rumble. We are in the Pleistocene, the Great Ice Age. It is a world of extremes. Glaciers, miles high, cover the north of Europe. They shine like blue mountains in the pale sun. The air is crystal clear and freezing cold. It is 20 degrees below zero. But you are not cold, because tonight, you are inhabiting the body of a Neanderthal. You are a child of the ice. Let's explore this vessel. Let's feel what it is like to be built for survival. Focus on your feet. They are wide, flat, solid. They are designed to walk on snow, on scree, on uneven rocky ground. They are anchors. Your legs are short, shorter than a modern human's. The shin bones are thick. The thigh bones are curved. Why? Thermodynamics. Think of a radiator or a compact furnace. A long, thin shape loses heat. A short, round shape keeps heat. Your body is a sphere of warmth. By shortening the limbs, evolution has pulled your blood closer to your core. You are a heat retention machine. Feel the muscles in your legs. They are not the long, lean muscles of a marathon runner. They are the thick, explosive muscles of a wrestler. Twitch, flex, power. You are built for bursts of power. You are built to sprint at a mammoth. You are built to thrust a heavy spear through thick hide. You are built to hold on. Your bones, feel the weight of your bones. They are heavy, dense. If you took a Neanderthal bone and a modern human bone and hit them together, the modern bone would shatter. The Neanderthal bone would remain. The walls of the femur are thick. They have to be, because your muscles are so strong that if your bones were weak, your own muscles would snap them like twigs. You are a creature of immense, compressed strength. You could crush a rock in your hand. You could wrestle a bear, but you don't. You use your energy wisely. Now, take a breath. Inhale. Feel the air entering your face. Your face is different. It pulls forward. The midfacial prognathism. Your nose is huge. Not just the outside, but the inside. The nasal cavity is a cavern. It is lined with rich, blood-filled membranes. It is a radiator. The freezing air comes in at -20. It swirls around in that massive nose. Swish, swirl. It is warmed. It is humidified. By the time it hits your delicate lungs, it is warm. It is safe. You are carrying a climate control system in the center of your face. You breathe out. Exhale. A cloud of steam erupts from your lips. You are a steam engine. Your chest is a barrel. Ribs flaring out wide. Huge lungs. You need oxygen. You need fuel. Your metabolic rate is twice that of a modern human. You burn 4,000, 5,000 calories a day just to exist. You are a furnace that needs constant stoking. You dream of fat. You dream of marrow. You dream of the rich, red meat of the bison. Hunger is your constant companion, but it is not a desperate hunger. It is a driving force. You are standing on a ridge, overlooking a snowy plain. You are wrapped in furs. The fur is heavy. It smells of the animal it came from. Bison hide, mammoth wool. It is tied with leather thongs. You feel the weight of it on your shoulders. The wind hits you. Buffet, slap, but you do not shiver. Your body is a fortress against the cold. You look at your hands, broad palms, thick fingers. The fingertips are wide, like spatulas. Grip. You make a fist. It feels like a stone. These are hands that make things. These are hands that shape the world. You are holding a spear. It is heavy, a thick shaft of spruce wood. The tip is stone, Laval Lois flint, sharp as a razor, dark and glassy. You made it. You remember the sound of making it. Click, click, chip, the rhythm of stone on stone. The focus, the planning. You are not a brute. You are an engineer. You understand the fracture planes of the rock. You understand the grain of the wood. You understand the behavior of the fire. You look out at the herd of reindeer moving in the distance. Click, clack, click, clack. The sound of their antlers knocking together drifts on the wind. Your eyes narrow. Your vision is sharp. Your visual cortex is huge. You see the movement. You see the pattern. You calculate the distance. You calculate the wind. You turn to your kin. They are standing beside you. Short, strong, silent figures in the snow. You do not need to shout. You make a sound deep in your throat. A hum. A signal. They understand. You move together. A pack. A family. The snow crunches under your heavy feet. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It is a synchronized sound. You feel a profound sense of belonging. You are not alone in the ice. You are part of a unit. If you fall, they will carry you. If you break a bone, they will feed you, just like they fed the old man. The cold is everywhere. It is the sky. It is the ground. But inside your circle, inside your skin, there is heat. There is life. There is humanity. Let the adrenaline of the hunt fade. We are not going to hunt tonight. We are just standing in the body, feeling the strength, feeling the adaptation. It is a good body, a successful body. It survived for 300,000 years. Imagine the pride of that survival. You are the pinnacle of evolution for this environment. You are perfect for this world. Let the feeling of the heavy bones ground you. Sink into the mattress as if it were a pile of furs in a cave. Feel the warmth of your own core. Your modern body is softer, yes, taller, lighter, but deep down, you have the same blueprint. You have the ghost of that strength. You have the memory of the ice. The wind is howling outside your mental cave. Oh, but you are safe inside. The fire is crackling. Pop hiss. The smell of roasting meat. The smell of pine resin. The family is close. You are the child of the ice, and the ice is your mother. She holds you. She rocks you. The cold is not an enemy. It is a blanket. Pull it up. Drift into the white. Drift into the deep, deep time. Sleep. The wind dies down outside the cave. The world of ice recedes. We are moving inward, into the warmth, into the circle of the firelight. We are entering the domain of the mind. For a long time, we thought the Neanderthal was a creature of instinct. We thought he picked up a rock, bashed it against a nut, and that was it. But tonight, we are going to watch a master at work. You are sitting on a reindeer skin rug near the hearth. The fire is low. It is a bed of glowing red coals, pulsating with heat. Across from you sits the toolmaker. He is not big and brutish. He is focused. His face is a map of concentration. His eyes are narrowed, reading the stone in his hand like a book. He is holding a nodule of flint. Look at the stone. It is dark gray, smooth, cold. It was pulled from the chalk cliffs miles away. To you, it is just a rock. To him, it is a sculpture waiting to be released. He is about to perform a feat of engineering called the Levallois technique. It is complex. It requires abstract thought. It requires planning 50 steps ahead. He turns the stone over in his thick, calloused hands. Rub, rub. He is feeling for the grain. He is looking for the flaws. He picks up a hammerstone, a round, heavy river pebble. He takes a breath. Inhale. Hold. He strikes. Clack. The sound is sharp, high-pitched, like glass breaking. A flake of stone flies off. He does not look at the flake. He looks at the core. He strikes again. Clack. And again. Clack. He is not making the tool yet. He is preparing the core. He is shaping the stone into a perfect geometric form, a tortoiseshell shape. He has to calculate the angle of every blow. If he hits it at 90 degrees, it will shatter. If he hits it at 45 degrees, it will flake. He is doing physics in his head, without numbers, without equations, just pure, intuitive mechanics. Chip, chip, chip. The rhythm is hypnotic. It is the clock of the Paleolithic. The pile of waste flakes, the debitage grows around his feet. Razor-sharp confetti. He pauses. He holds the core up to the firelight. He runs his thumb over the edge. He is looking for the striking platform, the perfect spot. He finds it. He changes tools. He puts down the hammerstone. He picks up a piece of antler. Soft hammer. This offers more control. He positions the antler against the stone. He tenses his shoulder muscles. The massive power of the Neanderthal upper body is focused into a single point. He strikes. Thwack. A different sound. Softer. Dull. But the result is magic. A single, large, perfect flake detaches from the core. It falls into his palm. He holds it up. It is thin. It is symmetrical. The edges are sharper than a surgeon's scalpel. It is a Levallois point. It is beautiful. He nods, a small, silent acknowledgement of perfection. He has turned a chaotic rock into a precision instrument. But the stone is only half the story. Now comes the chemistry. He needs to attach this stone point to a wooden spear shaft. If he just ties it with grass, it will wobble. It will break on impact. He needs glue, but there is no glue store in the Ice Age. So he invents it. Birch tar. This is the first industrial process in human history. Watch him. He has a pile of birch bark. White, papery rolls of bark peeling from the trees outside. He rolls the bark up tight. If you burn birch bark in a fire, it just burns to ash. To make tar, you have to heat it times. Without times oxygen, dry distillation. He digs a small pit near the fire. He puts the bark rolls in the pit. He covers them with a flat stone. He seals the edges with wet clay. Pat, pat, smooth. He builds a small fire on top of the stone. Now, he waits. He tends the fire. Feed, poke, watch. He has to keep the temperature exactly right, around 350 degrees Celsius. If it gets too hot, the tar is ruined. If it gets too cold, the oil doesn't extract. He is a chemist. He is monitoring the reaction by the color of the smoke, by the smell. The smell, it is distinctive. A smoky, acrid, sweet scent. The smell of burning wood and oil. It fills the cave. It is the smell of technology. Hours pass. The fire dies down. He carefully scrapes away the ash. He lifts the stone. Creak. Underneath, in the bottom of the pit, is a black, sticky goo. Tar. It is hot, viscous. He takes a stick. He dips it in. He pulls it out. Strings of black glue stretch out, cooling in the air. He works quickly now. He takes the wooden spear shaft. He smears the hot tar onto the end. He presses the stone point into the tar. Squish. He wraps it with sinew animal tendon. The sinew shrinks as it dries. The tar hardens as it cools. Within an hour, the stone and the wood are fused. They are one piece. You could hit a mammoth with this spear, and the point would not budge. He holds the spear up. He tests the balance. He looks at you. His eyes are bright in the firelight. There is pride there, not the arrogance of a brute, but the quiet satisfaction of a craftsman. He hands the spear to you. Take it. Feel the weight. The wood is smooth, polished by hands. The stone is cool. The tar is hard as plastic. This is not a primitive object. This is a piece of high technology. It represents thousands of years of accumulated knowledge, passed down from father to son, from mother to daughter. Strike here. Heat this. Wait for the smoke. Language, teaching, tradition. You realize, holding this spear, that the Neanderthal is not dumb. He is a genius of his environment. He has mastered the stone. He has mastered the fire. He has mastered the chemistry of the forest. He takes the spear back. He lays it next to the others, a row of perfect tools waiting for the morning hunt. He rubs his hands together. He wipes the dust and the soot on his furs. He sighs, a long, deep exhale. Ah, the work is done. The fire pops. Snap, a spark flies up towards the soot-stained ceiling of the cave. You watch it rise. You watch it fade. The mastery of the material world is complete. But what about the inner world? What about the dreams? What about the art? For that, we have to leave the fire. We have to go deeper, away from the light, away from the tools, into the dark zone, where the mysteries live. Stand up, leave the warmth. We are going to find the artist. The fire is behind us now. The comfort of the hearth is a distant orange glow. We are walking into the deep cave, Maltravieso, or El Castillo, or Ardales. The name doesn't matter. The darkness is the same. You are following a figure, a woman. She is a Neanderthal. She is carrying a torch, a hollow bone filled with animal fat, a wick of moss burning with a smoky yellow flame. Flicker, sputter, hiss. The light is unsteady. It casts wild, dancing shadows on the limestone walls. Stalactites hang down like teeth, dripping water. Drip, plip, drip, plip. The sound echoes. It tells you how big the space is. It is vast. The air is different here. It is cold, but stable. It smells of wet stone, of bat guano, of ancient dust. It smells of the womb of the earth. Why is she here? There is no food here, no water, no shelter. It is dangerous. There are cave bears in the lower chambers. There are pits you could fall into. But she keeps walking. She is on a mission. She is carrying a shell filled with red powder, ochre, iron oxide, the color of blood, the color of life. She stops. She finds a wall, a smooth, white panel of flowstone, untouched for 1,000,000 years. She sets the torch down on a rock. The light stabilizes. She looks at the wall. She looks at her hand. Her hand is broad, strong. The fingers are thick. The nails are short. It is a hand that has skinned bison, a hand that has held children, a hand that has scraped hides in the freezing wind. But now, it is a tool of expression. She places her hand against the cold stone, palm flat, fingers spread wide. She presses down. She feels the connection, flesh to earth. She takes a mouthful of the red powder. It tastes like rust. It tastes like metal. She leans forward. She blows. A fine mist of pigment sprays out of her mouth. It settles over her hand. It settles on the wall. She does it again. Brown. Brown. She is an airbrush. She covers the area in red dust. She waits a moment. Then, she pulls her hand away. Look, on the wall, amidst the red cloud, is a negative image. A white hand. Perfect. Pristine. The ghost of a touch. It is a signature. I was here. I existed. I am. It is the first selfie in history. The first assertion of the ego against the void of time. She looks at it. She tilts her head. Does she smile? Does she cry? We don't know, but we feel the intent. This is not survival. This is not about eating or staying warm. This is about meaning. She is reaching out across time. She is signaling to the future. 64,000 years later, we find it. We shine our flashlights on it, and we put our own hands up to the rock. We try to fit our fingers into the shadow of hers. We are touching across the abyss, and in that moment, the word primitive dies. You cannot call an artist primitive. To create art is to have a theory of mind, to understand that you are an individual, separate from the world, and that you can leave a mark on it. She is not done. She picks up the torch. She moves deeper. She finds a stalagmite, a pillar of rock rising from the floor. She paints it red. Why? Maybe it looks like a person. Maybe it marks a boundary. Maybe it is holy. We will never know the why. We only know the did. She arranges stones. She breaks off stalactites and arranges them in a circle on the floor. A circle of broken stone. Inside the circle, she burns bones. Not for heat, for ritual. The smoke rises. She is building a temple, a cathedral, in the dark. This is religion, or magic, or theater. It is the complex inner life of a being who wonders about the universe. Now, let's move to another scene. Krapina, Croatia. Sunlight. A man sits by a river. He is holding a claw. It is the talon of a white-tailed eagle. It is huge, sharp, curved. The eagle is the king of the sky. It flies high. It sees everything. The Neanderthal managed to catch it, or find it. He holds the power of the bird in his hand. He wants that power. He wants to keep it. He takes a stone tool. He saws at the root of the talon. Scrape, scrape, scrape. He is making a groove, a notch. Why? So he can tie a string around it. He takes a piece of sinew. He ties the talon. He hangs it around his neck. A necklace. Look at him. He is wearing a fur tunic. But over the fur, he wears the jewelry. The eagle claw rests against his chest. It moves when he breathes. Why does he wear it? Does it make him feel strong? Does it show his rank in the tribe? Is it a gift for his mate? It doesn't matter. What matters is that he is decorating himself. He has a concept of self-image. He looks at his reflection in the river. He sees the claw. He likes how it looks. Vanity, aesthetics, beauty. These are not modern inventions. They are as old as the Neanderthal. They collected shells. They traveled to the coast. They picked up seashells. They drilled holes in them. They painted them with ochre. They wore them. Imagine a Neanderthal woman with a string of painted shells around her neck, the red ochre contrasting with her pale skin, the shells clicking softly as she walks. Click, click, click. It is a sound of culture. This is not a biological necessity. This is a cultural choice. They were not just surviving the Ice Age. They were living in it. They were styling it. Drift back to the cave in Spain. The woman is leaving. She walks back towards the entrance. The light of day grows stronger. The torch flame becomes invisible in the sun. She extinguishes the torch. Hiss. She steps out into the valley. But the handprint remains in the dark. The red dust clings to the rock. It dries. It hardens. Calcite from the cave water drips over it. Drip, drip, layer by layer. A thin, transparent skin of stone forms over the painting. It seals it. It preserves it. It locks the moment in time. Like a fly in amber, the handprint waits. It waits through the rest of the Ice Age. It waits through the arrival of modern humans. It waits through the Roman Empire, through the Middle Ages, through the World Wars. It waits in the silence, hush, until the flashlight beam hits it, and we realize we were wrong about everything. They were not monsters. They were dreamers. They were creators. They were us. Feel the urge to create in your own hands, your fingers twitching as you drift, to sleep, the desire to draw, to write, to build. It is an ancient urge. It comes from the same place. Let the image of the red hand float in your mind, a high five from the past, a connection. You are part of a long line of artists. The cave is dark, but the art is bright. The body sleeps, but the imagination is awake. Drift on the river of creativity. Float through the gallery of time. Sleep. We leave the cold tundra of Europe. We travel southeast, across the steppes, across the mountains, to the Zagros Mountains, in what is now northern Iraq. It is a different landscape here. Rugged, high, wild. The air is thinner. It smells of wild sage, of juniper, and of hot stone baking in the sun. We are going to a place called Shanidar Cave. It is a massive cavern, a cathedral carved by nature. The mouth of the cave is huge, shaped like a giant eye, looking out over the greater Zab River valley below. Inside, it is cool. It is dusty. It is safe. The floor is covered in the debris of millennia, ash from fires, bones from meals, rocks fallen from the ceiling. It is a home, and it is a graveyard. Tonight, we are going to witness a moment that changes everything we know about what it means to be human. We are going to witness the birth of compassion. Step into the cave. It is 45,000 years ago. The light is dim. The sun is setting outside, painting the limestone walls in shades of apricot and violet. Inside, the fire is dying down. Crackle, pop, hiss. There is a silence in the cave tonight. Not the silence of sleep, but the silence of waiting. In the corner, on a bed of furs and dried grass, a man is lying. He is known to archaeologists as Shanidar I, or Nandi, but to his family, he has a name, a sound that means the old one or the broken one. Let us look at him closely. He is a ruin of a man. If you saw him today, you would turn away. His face is crushed. Decades ago, a rockfall or a blow from an animal smashed the left side of his skull. The eye socket is crushed. He has been blind in his left eye for years. The bone healed, but it healed crooked. His right arm is withered. The bones are thin, atrophied. The hand is gone, amputated above the elbow, perhaps by trauma, perhaps by surgery. He has a limp. His foot was broken and healed badly. He is deaf in one ear. He is covered in arthritis. Every joint in his body is a rusty hinge. By the brutal logic of survival of the fittest, this man should have died 20 years ago. A blind, one-armed, crippled man cannot hunt. He cannot gather wood. He cannot defend the cave. He is a burden. In the animal kingdom, he would be left behind. The wolves would take him. The winter would take him. But he is here. He is alive. He has gray hair. He has wrinkles. He has lived a long, full life. How? Look at the woman sitting beside him. She is holding a wooden bowl. Inside is a mash of cooked wild barley and date palm fruit. She takes a small amount on her fingers. She brings it to his lips. Open, she whispers. He opens his mouth. His teeth are worn down to the gums. He cannot chew tough food, so she has mashed it for him. Or perhaps she has chewed it for him. She feeds him. Swallow. She wipes his chin. She touches his forehead. Her hand is rough, calloused, dirty, but her touch is as gentle as a feather. This is the answer. He survived because they loved him. They did not see him as a broken tool to be discarded. They saw him as a person. Maybe he was a storyteller. Maybe he remembered the old songs. Maybe he taught the children how to listen to the wind. Or maybe he was just grandfather, and that was enough. This care, this useless, inefficient, beautiful care, is the spark of humanity. It proves that the Neanderthal heart was not cold. It was fiercely, stubbornly warm. But tonight, the care is coming to an end. Nandy's breathing is shallow. Rattle. Wheeze. The fluid is building in his lungs. The old heart is tired. The family gathers around. They do not wail. They do not scream. Neanderthal grief is deep and quiet. It is a heavy stone in the chest. They sit in a circle. They touch him. A hand on his shoulder. A hand on his knee. Physical contact. The language of comfort. They are waiting for the transition. The moment when the person becomes the body. The firelight flickers on their faces. Heavy brows. Deep eyes. You can see the sorrow in the set of their jaws. The wind blows outside. Whoosh. It sounds like the earth is sighing. And then, silence. The breathing stops. The chest creates moving. The spirit of the old one slips away, out of the cave mouth, into the valley, into the stars. He is gone. For a long time, nobody moves. They just sit with him. They respect the stillness of death. Then, the woman begins to rock back and forth. A low sound comes from her throat. A hum, a vibration of grief. It is joined by another and another. A chord of mourning echoing in the limestone chamber. They are the first people to cry for the loss of a soul. The next morning, the work begins. They do not leave him there. They do not drag him out for the hyenas. They are going to keep him. They are going to bury him. Burial is a profound concept. It implies a belief that the person is still there, or that the body deserves respect. It implies a refusal to let nature simply erase a loved one. But this will not be a simple burial. It is spring in the Zagros Mountains. May or June. The valley below is exploding with life. The snow has melted. The river is running high in blue. And the flowers, the meadows are carpeted with wild flowers. Bright yellow, vivid blue, deep white. A group of Neanderthals leaves the cave. They walk down the slope. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Their heavy feet navigate the loose stones. They stop in a meadow. They are not hunting bison today. They are hunting beauty. Watch them. A young man bends down. He sees a cluster of yarrow, tall stalks, clusters of tiny white flowers. He reaches out his thick fingers. He snaps the stem. Snap. The scent is sharp, medicinal, herbal. He gathers a bunch. A woman finds a patch of cornflowers. Street Barnaby's thistle. They are a brilliant, piercing blue. The color of the sky, the color of a bruise. She picks them. She holds them to her face. Inhale. She breathes in the scent of the spring. It is a sweet, honeyed smell. She wants to give this scent to Nandy. Another finds grape hyacinth, small purple bells, and hollyhock, tall, majestic spikes of pink and white. They are gathering a bouquet. Think about the abstraction of this act. Flowers are not food. They are not fuel. They are not tools. They are useless for survival. They are pure symbols. They represent beauty. They represent life. They represent, I remember you. To gather flowers for the dead is to think metaphorically. It is poetry in action. They return to the cave. Their arms are full of color. Yellow, blue, pink, white. They bring the spring into the darkness. The smell of the flowers mixes with the smell of the wood smoke and the damp earth. It creates a perfume of sanctity. Inside the cave, towards the back, they have dug a pit. It was hard work. The ground is rocky. They used antlers and wooden digging sticks. Thud, scrape, heave. They cleared away the stones. They made a cradle in the earth. They carry the body of the old man. Gently, he is light now. The life is gone. They lower him into the grave. They do not just throw him in. They position him. They curl him up. The fetal position, knees to chest, hands near the face. Why? Maybe it is to save space. Or maybe it is because death is a sleep or a rebirth. He came into the world curled up. He leaves the world curled up. It is a closing of the circle. They place a stone under his head, a pillow, so he can rest comfortably in the eternity of the rock. And then, the flowers. They step forward, one by one. They drop the blossoms into the grave. Flutter, flutter, drift. The petals land on his face, on his withered arm, on his twisted foot. Blue cornflowers on the brown skin, yellow yarrow on the gray hair. They cover him in a blanket of color. They are tucking him in, not with earth, but with beauty. The pollen from the flowers shakes loose. Millions of microscopic grains, gold dust. It settles on the soil. It settles on the bones. It is invisible to them, but it is a message that will wait for 45,000 years. It will wait for a man named Ralph Selecki to come with a microscope and find it. It will wait to tell us, we were not animals. We were people. We loved. They stand around the grave. The color of the flowers glows in the dim light. It is a stark contrast to the gray of the cave. It is a defiance of death, a defiance of the dark. They are saying, you are gone, but we will make this place beautiful for you. They fill the grave, scoop, pour, pat. They cover the flowers with soft earth. They pack it down, thump, thump. They place heavy stones on top to keep the hyenas away, to protect him. Even in death, they are protecting the cripple. The work is done. The grave is just a mound of dirt now, but the air in the cave has changed. It feels sacred, hallowed ground. They go back to the fire. Life must continue. The hunger returns. The cold returns. But something has shifted in their minds. They have created a memory. They sit by the fire and they eat. They talk. Maybe they tell stories about Nandi, about the time he saw the lion before anyone else, about the way he used to laugh. They laugh a little. He was stubborn. Someone signals. He was kind. Someone hums. The grief is still there, but it is lighter now, shared. You are sitting with them. You are a ghost from the future, watching your ancestors mourn. You look at their faces. Tears make tracks through the dust on their cheeks. Salt water. The same salt water that you cry. The chemistry of grief has not changed in 40,000 years. The pain of losing a parent. The emptiness of a missing friend. It is universal. It connects you to them more than DNA ever could. You realize that you are not looking at a species. You are looking at a family that did the best they could in a hard world, a family that discovered that love is stronger than natural selection. Natural selection says, discard the weak. Neanderthals said, no, we keep him. That no is the foundation of civilization. It is the foundation of morality. And it started here, in a cave in Iraq, with a one-armed man and a bunch of wildflowers. The fire burns low. The shadows lengthen. The Neanderthals curl up to sleep. They sleep close together, a pile of furs and limbs. They draw comfort from each other's heat. The cave is quiet again, but deep in the earth, the pollen is waiting. The DNA of the flowers is waiting. The skeleton of the old man is waiting. They are sleeping, the deep sleep of history. You can leave them now. You can float back out of the cave, past the grave, past the sleeping family, out into the night air of the Zagros Mountains. The stars are brilliant. The Milky Way is a river of light. The same stars they saw, the same stars you see. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Smell the sage. Smell the cooling stone. Feel the peace of the valley. The funeral is over. The rest has begun. You are drifting back to your own time, back to your own bed, but you are bringing something back with you. A flower, an invisible, mental flower from the grave of Shanidar, a reminder of where your compassion comes from. It is not a modern invention. It is an ancient inheritance. You are part of a lineage of love. Feel that love wrapping around you like a warm fur. Feel the protection of the clan. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The old ones are watching over you. They are whispering, "We survived. You will survive." Let the heavy, comforting silence of the cave settle over your room. Let the weight of the years press you down into the mattress. Solid, secure, deep. The flowers are blooming in your dreams. Yellow, blue, pink. Sleep. Sleep in the garden of the past. Sleep. We leave the cave of the flowers. We leave the grief behind. We travel west, towards the setting sun. We are moving to a place called the Levant, the corridor, the bridge between continents. What is now Israel, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon. It is a land of caves and coasts, of limestone ridges and oak forests, of heat and dust. The time is 55,000 years ago. The world is holding its breath. Something huge is about to happen. A collision of galaxies. But it does not happen with an explosion. It happens with a footprint. Imagine you are a Neanderthal hunter. You are standing on a ridge on Mount Carmel. The wind is blowing from the south. It is a warm wind, smelling of the desert, of dry grass, of distant salt water. You are watching the valley below. You know this valley. You know every tree, every rock, every deer trail. Your ancestors have lived here for 200,000 years. It is your home. But today, something is different. You smell it first. Sniff. Sniff. The air brings a scent. It is wood smoke. But it is not the smoke of your fires. Your fires burn pine and oak. This smoke smells different. Acacia, herbs, and underneath the smoke, a scent of bodies. Human bodies, but not your people. The sweat smells different. The pheromones are different. You tense your muscles. Your hand tightens on your heavy wooden spear. You signal to your brother. A low click in the throat. He joins you. Together, silent as boulders, you look down. There, by the river, a line of figures. They are walking north. They look strange. They are tall, impossibly tall, like saplings swaying in the wind. Their limbs are long and thin. Their skin is dark, like the bark of a wet tree. Their heads are round, high-domed. They move differently. You move with power, with a heavy, planted step. They move with a fluid, bouncing gait. They look fragile. If you grabbed one, you feel you could snap him in half, but they are many. And they have weapons, long, thin spears, throwing sticks. They are the tall ones, the Homo sapiens, our ancestors, coming out of Africa. They are the wave that will change the world, but right now, they are just tired travelers looking for water. Now, shift your perspective. Leave the ridge. Float down into the valley. Slip into the skin of a sapien scout. You are tired. You have walked from the Horn of Africa. Generations of walking. The climate is getting colder as you move north. You are shivering in your light gazelle skin tunic. You stop by the river to drink. You look up. You see them, standing on the cliff edge, silhouetted against the gray sky. The strong ones. They look like spirits of the earth. Short, broad, immovable. Their skin is pale, like the moon. Their hair is red or brown, matted and wild. They are wrapped in heavy furs that make them look like bears standing on two legs. You feel a spike of fear. Adrenaline. Your heart hammers. Thump, thump, thump. Are they monsters? Are they gods? You freeze. You lock eyes across the distance. Amber eyes meet dark brown eyes. 50 yards of empty air, and 50,000 years of separation. Nobody moves. The birds stop singing. The wind stops blowing. It is the first contact, the moment the two halves of humanity find each other again. What happens next? History books talk about war, about competition, about violence. And surely, sometimes there was violence, spears thrown, screams in the night. But tonight, we are telling the other story, the story of the DNA, because you cannot make a baby with a spear. You can only make a baby with love, or at least with curiosity. Watch. The Neanderthal on the ridge lowers his spear. He steps forward. He raises a hand, palm open. I am here. I am not attacking. The sapient scout hesitates. Then, he lowers his throwing stick. He mimics the gesture, palm open, slowly, painfully slowly. The groups move closer. They meet in a clearing by the river. The tension is thick enough to cut. The air vibrates with it. The sapiens are shivering. They are not built for this northern chill. The Neanderthals see this. The Neanderthal leader, a woman, perhaps steps forward. She is holding a firebrand, a smoldering piece of fungus wrapped in leaves. She points to the sapiens' unlit fire pit. She offers the flame. It is a universal gesture. Fire is life. To share fire is to share life. The sapiens' leader accepts it. They build a fire together. Crackle, pop, hiss. The orange light pushes back the twilight. The two groups sit in a circle. Neanderthals on one side, sapiens on the other. They stare at each other. The sapiens are fascinated by the Neanderthals' strength, the thickness of their wrists, the power of their jaws. The Neanderthals are fascinated by the sapiens' tools. A sapiens woman takes out a needle, a bone needle with an eye. She is sewing a piece of leather. The Neanderthals watch. They have awls, but not needles. She hands the needle to a Neanderthal woman. The Neanderthal woman takes it. Her thick, clumsy-looking fingers are surprisingly gentle. She examines it. She smiles. She reaches into her fur pouch. She pulls out a scraper, a beautiful black flint scraper, sharp as a razor. She hands it over. A trade, technology transfer, not war, commerce. They share food. The Neanderthals bring out dried mammoth meat, rich, fatty, heavy. The sapiens bring out tubers and nuts gathered from the south. They eat, chew, swallow, nod. Taste is a language everyone speaks. The fear begins to dissolve. The other becomes the brother. The night deepens. The stars come out. The same stars they both navigate by. The Pleiades, Orion. They look up. They point. They say their names for the stars. Guttural, deep sounds from the Neanderthals. Clicking, lyrical sounds from the sapiens. They do not understand the words, but they understand the awe. They are both children of the same mystery. And then the barriers fall. Focus on two individuals. A sapiens man, tall, lean, curious. A Neanderthal woman, strong, pale, quiet. They have been watching each other across the fire. He is drawn to her power, to the way she moves with absolute confidence in this cold world. She is the queen of the ice. He wants to know her secret. She is drawn to his grace, to the way his hands move when he talks. He is the traveler from the Sunday. He brings a warmth she has never known. They move away from the fire, into the shadows of the oak trees. The air is cold, but they are warm. They stand close. Breath, breath. He reaches out. He touches her face. He feels the heavy brow ridge. It feels solid, protective. She reaches out. She touches his arm. She feels the smooth, dark skin, the lean muscle. It is an exploration of texture. They are mapping a new geography. There is no language for this, only instinct, only the ancient drive to connect, to mix, to create. They embrace. The furs mix with the gazelle skins. The pale skin mixes with the dark skin. The cold world melts away. There is only the heat of two bodies becoming one. In that act, the future is written. It is a biological fusion, chromosomes aligning, double helixes unzipping and recombining. The immune system of the Neanderthal, honed by thousands of years of European winters, is gifted to the sapiens. The metabolic flexibility of the sapiens is gifted to the Neanderthal. It is the ultimate trade. It is the moment you were made. If you could see into the womb of history right now, you would see a single cell dividing. Divide, divide, divide. A child, a hybrid, half Sunday, half ice. This child will have the blue eyes of the mother and the high forehead of the father. This child will survive the plague. This child will survive the winter. This child will be the ancestor of billions. They return to the fire. They sit close. The groups are mixing now. The strict lines are broken. Laughter. Ha, ha, ha. A Neanderthal laughs deep in his chest. A sapiens laughs high in his throat. They harmonize. It is the sound of a new tribe forming. The fire burns down to embers. Red eyes watching in the dark. They curl up to sleep. Imagine the pile of sleeping bodies. A tangle of limbs. A sapien's arm thrown over a Neanderthal shoulder. A Neanderthal child curled up against a sapien's grandmother. They are keeping each other warm. The wind blows through the valley. Whoosh! It is a cold wind. The ice age is returning. The glaciers are pulsing south again. But tonight, they are not afraid. They have found the secret weapon: connection. They realize that they are not two species. They are just people. People trying to stay warm on a cooling planet. People trying to make sense of the dark. You are lying there with them. You are the ghost in the camp. You can feel the heat of the fire on your face. You can smell the wood smoke. You can feel the peace of the truce. Let that peace settle into your bones. The conflict is over. The separation is over. You are whole. You contain the multitudes. You are the meeting point. Your body is the valley where they met. Your heart is the fire they built. Feel the gratitude for that meeting. Without it, you would not be here. Without the strength of the Neanderthal, the sapiens might have frozen. Without the ingenuity of the sapiens, the Neanderthal might have starved. Together, they conquered the world. Together, they made you. Drift away from the camp now. Float up, above the trees, above the ridge. Look down. The fire is a tiny orange spark in the vast black landscape of the Pleistocene. It looks fragile, but it is the strongest thing on Earth. It is the spark of us. The sparks are spreading. Look at the map of the world in your mind. See the little fires springing up in the caves of France, in the mountains of Altai, in the plains of Siberia. Everywhere, the meeting is happening. The braiding of the river. The blood is mixing. The story is becoming complex, beautiful. The pure human does not exist. We are a mosaic. We are a painting made of many colors. Let yourself be that mosaic. Feel the complexity in your own cells. It is not a burden. It is a gift. It is a library of survival strategies written in protein. You are ancient. You are vast. You are complete. Float higher. The fires fade into the stars. The stars are the same stars. They watch over the sleeping world, silent, eternal. The only witness to the marriage of the species, the wind sings a lullaby, a song of ice and fire. Hush, sleep, hush, sleep. The valley is quiet. The ancestors are sleeping. And now, you can sleep too. You are among family. The fire of the first meeting has burned down. The sparks have faded. We are moving forward in time again. But the mood has changed. The vibrant energy of the mating season is gone. The thrill of the hunt is gone. We are entering the season of autumn, the autumn of a species. It is 40,000 years ago. The world is sick. The climate, which has always been a pendulum swinging between cold and warm, has broken. The pendulum is swinging too fast. One decade, it is freezing. The next, it is hot, then dry, then wet. The forests cannot keep up. The trees die, unable to migrate fast enough. The herds of mammoth and bison are confused, their migration routes broken by expanding deserts or sudden glaciers. And the Neanderthals, the masters of stability, are struggling. They are built for a world that stays the same. They are specialists, and when the world changes, the specialist suffers. But it is not just the weather, it is the earth itself. Travel with me to Italy, to the Phlegraean fields near modern-day Naples. It is a sunny day. The sky is blue, and then the earth opens. Boom. It is not a normal eruption. It is a supervolcano, the Campanian ignimbrite eruption. It is the loudest sound heard on the planet for 100,000 years. A column of ash and rock shoots 25 miles into the stratosphere. It punches a hole in the sky. The column collapses. Pyroclastic flows, avalanches of burning gas and glass race across the Mediterranean Sea. But the real killer is the ash. Millions of tons of gray dust, sulfur, glass shards. The wind catches it. The jet stream catches it. It spreads east. It spreads north. It covers Europe. It covers Russia. It draws a curtain across the sun. Float back to the Neanderthal lands, to the Balkans, to the Caucasus. The sky turns a sickly yellow-gray. The sun becomes a dim, red eye, struggling to see through the haze. The temperature drops. Volcanic winter. It is not the clean, crisp cold of the Ice Age. It is a dirty, chemical cold. The snow falls, but it is not white. It is gray. Hiss, patter, hiss. The ash falls on the leaves. It kills the plants. The herbivores starve. The mammoths die. And the Neanderthals. They are coughing. Cough, wheeze. The silica dust gets into their lungs. It grinds down their teeth. They retreat into their caves. But the caves are cold. The wood for the fire is wet and rotten. You are watching a family in a cave in Romania. They are huddled together. They are thin. Their skin hangs loose on their massive frames. There are fewer of them now. The groups are shrinking. A band used to be 20 people. Now it is 10, then 5. The children, many of them do not survive the winter. The silence in the cave is heavy. They look at each other. They know something is wrong. The spirits of the land are angry. They try to hunt. They go out into the gray wasteland. But the herds are gone, or they are too far away, and there is something else out there. The others, the sapiens, they are suffering too, but they are different. They have better shoes. They have lighter tools. They have larger networks. When a sapiens band fails, they can call on cousins in the next valley. When a Neanderthal band fails, they are alone. The islands of survival are shrinking. Imagine a map of Europe in your mind. See the lights of the Neanderthal fires. 40,000 years ago, the map is full of lights. 38,000 years ago, the lights in the east go out. 36,000 years ago, the lights in the north go out. 34,000 years ago, Central Europe is dark. The tide is going out. The species is retreating. They are moving south, always south, towards the sun, towards the sea. They are running from the cold. They are running from the emptiness. It is a slow, tragic migration. A trail of footprints left in the gray mud, washed away by the rain, leaving behind the graves of their ancestors, leaving behind the painted caves. Goodbye, they whisper to the mountains. Goodbye. We follow the last survivors. We travel to the very edge of the continent, to the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, and then to the very tip, to a giant rock jutting out into the Mediterranean Sea. Gibraltar, the Pillar of Hercules. This is the final fortress. The climate here is milder. The sea moderates the cold. There are still trees here. Pine, olive, oak. There are still animals. Ibex, red deer, rabbits. And there are caves. Great, yawning caves facing the sea. Vanguard Cave, Gorham's Cave. It is 32,000 years ago, or maybe 28. The dates are blurry in the twilight, but they are here. The last ones. Let us enter Gorham's Cave. It is magnificent. The entrance is high and wide, framing a view of the beach and the ocean beyond. The sound of the sea is constant. Crash, hiss, retreat. Crash, hiss, retreat. It is a rhythmic, soothing sound, a lullaby for the end of the world. The air smells of salt spray, of seaweed, of roasting mussel shells. Inside, a fire is burning. It is a good fire, bright, warm. Around the fire sits a family, maybe 6 people, a grandmother, a father, a mother, 2 children, an uncle. They do not look like dying refugees. They look normal. They look at peace. They are eating. They have caught an ibex. The meat is roasting on a spit. They have gathered pine nuts. They have collected limpets and mussels from the rocks at low tide. They are well fed. Their skins are clean. They wear necklaces of shells. They are living their lives. They do not know they are the last. They do not know that outside this peninsula, their kind has vanished from the face of the earth. To them, this cave is the world, and the world is fine. Zoom in on the father. He is sitting by the fire, working on a tool. He is making a scraper. Click, chip, click. He works with the same precision, the same pride as his ancestors did 100,000 years ago. He is not degenerating. He is not forgetting. He teaches his son. Hold it like this. He gestures. The boy mimics him. The boy laughs. Huh. The sound echoes off the high ceiling of the cave. It mixes with the sound of the waves. It is a happy sound. It is defiant. The grandmother sits near the cave mouth. She is looking out to sea. She has seen many winters. She remembers when the sea was lower. She remembers when there were more people. She remembers the visits from the bands in the north. They don't come anymore. She wonders why. But she does not despair. She watches the dolphins jumping in the surf. Splash, splash. She finds beauty in the water. She takes a piece of charcoal from the fire. She turns to the rock wall. She draws. Not a handprint this time. She draws lines, cross-hatching, a grid, a hashtag. Why? Maybe it is a map. Maybe it is a weave pattern. Maybe it is just a doodle to pass the time. Or maybe it is a mark of time passing. I am still here. I am still here. She carves the lines deep into the stone. We can still see them today. The Gorham's Cave engraving. The final message. The days turn into years. The years turn into generations. But the family does not grow. It shrinks. The uncle dies of old age. They bury him in the back of the cave with his favorite spear. The winter is harsh one year. The ibex do not come down from the rock. They have to eat limpets. Just limpets. Crunch, chew, swallow. It keeps them alive, but it is not enough fat. The children get sick. A fever, a cough. The parents tend to them. They use the medicinal herbs. They sing the healing songs. Hum, hum. One child recovers. The other does not. The sadness in the cave is heavy. It presses against the walls. But they keep going, because that is what they do. They are survivors. They are the descendants of the ones who survived the great glaciers. They do not know how to give up, but biology is a cruel numbers game. You need a population to survive. You need new blood. There is no new blood coming. The genetic pool is a puddle. They are inbreeding, not by choice, but by necessity. The vitality fades. The last generation is born. Let's call her Ember. She is the last Neanderthal. She does not know this title. To herself, she is just a girl. She grows up in the cave. She learns to swim in the sea. She learns to catch rabbits. She is strong. She has the heavy bones, the deep eyes, the powerful hands. She is beautiful in the way of her people. But she is alone. Her parents die. Her brother dies in a fall from the cliff. She is the only one left to tend the fire. Imagine the life of the last one. It is a study in solitude. She wakes up, yawn, stretch. The cave is silent, only the sea. She builds the fire, blow, crackle. She talks to the fire. It is her only companion. She talks to the shadows. She talks to the bones of her family buried in the back. Good morning, mother. Good morning, father. She goes out to forage. She walks the beach. She sees footprints in the sand. Her heart leaps. Others? No. They are her own footprints from yesterday. She sits on a rock and watches the horizon. On a clear day, she can see Africa across the strait, the purple mountains of Morocco. She wonders if there are people there. She sees smoke rising from a distant hill on the mainland of Spain. Sapiens smoke. She knows they are there, the tall ones. She stays away from them. They are too many. They are too loud. She retreats to her sanctuary. She is a ghost haunting her own home. But she is not miserable. There is a dignity in her solitude. She is the custodian of a memory that spans 300,000 years. She carries the entire history of a species in her mind. The techniques of the stone, the names of the plants, the myths of the stars. She recites them to herself as she weaves a basket. The bear is in the north. The river flows to the sea. She keeps the culture alive for an audience of one. The years pass. She grows old. Her joints begin to ache. The arthritis of her ancestors visits her. Creak, pop. It becomes harder to climb the cliffs, harder to catch the rabbits. The fire becomes harder to maintain. She gathers driftwood. It is heavy. She drags it into the cave. Drag, scuff, drag. She sits by the hearth. She looks at her hands. They are wrinkled, spotted with age. She looks at the engraving her grandmother made on the wall. She traces the lines with her finger. I am still here. But she knows. She feels the cold creeping into her bones. Not the cold of the winter, the cold of the end. One evening, the sun sets. It paints the sea in gold and violet, the same colors as the funeral of the old man in Iraq, the same colors as the sunset on the plateau. It is a perfect evening. The dolphins are playing. The gulls are crying. Caw, caw. She eats her last meal, a few roasted pine nuts, a sip of water. She banks the fire. She covers the coals with ash to keep them warm for the morning. But she knows she will not need them in the morning. She lies down on her furs. She curls up. The fetal position, the position of birth, the position of sleep. She pulls the bearskin over her shoulder. She listens to the waves. Crash, hiss, crash, hiss. It is the heartbeat of the mother. She never knew the earth. She closes her eyes. She is not afraid. She is tired. She thinks of her family. She sees their faces in the dark. They are smiling. They are reaching out to her. Come, they whisper. It is time to rest. Come to the place where the game never ends, where the winter never comes. She exhales. A long, slow breath. The breath leaves her lungs. It drifts up towards the ceiling of the cave. It mixes with the smoke. It drifts out of the cave mouth. It joins the wind. The heart stops. Thump, thump, silence. The fire crackles one last time, and then it goes out. The cave is dark. The Neanderthals are gone. The lineage is broken. The story that began in the ice hundreds of thousands of years ago has ended in the sound of the sea. But wait, is it truly the end? Look closely at the cave. The body of ember lies there. It will turn to dust. It will turn to fossils. But look outside. Look at the smoke on the distant hill. The Sapiens camp. In that camp, there is a child with brown skin and dark hair. But look at his eyes. They are amber. Look at his immune system. It is strong. It fights the fever. Look at his hands. They are a little broader than his father's. He carries a gene, a sequence of DNA. It came from a great-great-grandmother who met a hunter by a river 50 generations ago. That gene is sleeping, but it is there. It is the spark of ember. It is the spark of the toolmaker. It is the spark of the old man. The candle in the cave went out, but the flame was passed on. It was passed to the sapiens. It was passed to us. We are the keepers of the flame now. We are the ark of the Neanderthal. We carry them across the ocean of time. So, the sadness you feel, the heavy melancholy of the empty cave, let it wash over you. It is a clean sadness, a respectful sadness. It is the grief of losing a parent, but the parent lives on in the child. You are the child. Feel the weight of that legacy in your body right now. Sink into your bed. Feel the heaviness of your limbs. That heaviness is their gift. The ability to rest. The ability to endure. The cave is empty, yes, but your heart is full. The sea continues to beat against the rock. Crash, hiss, crash, hiss. The rhythm of eternity. Let it lull you. Let the sound of the Gibraltar surf wash away the dust of the quarry, the noise of the museum, the cold of the ice. You are floating in the warm Mediterranean water, drifting, weightless. The twilight is over. The night has come, and the night is gentle. Sleep. The story is safe inside you. Sleep. The cave in Gibraltar is empty. The fire is out. The footprints in the sand have been washed away by 30,000 years of tides. The physical form of the Neanderthal has vanished from the earth. There are no more heavy brows watching the herds. There are no more deep voices humming in the limestone cathedrals. The Ice Age ended. The glaciers retreated, pulling back like a white sheet to reveal a green, changing world. Cities rose. Empires fell. Steel replaced stone. Silicon replaced flint. We, the sapiens, covered the planet. We built pyramids. We built cathedrals. We built skyscrapers. We flew to the moon. And for all that time, we thought we were alone. We thought we were the singular, perfect masters of the universe. Unique, unmixed, pure. We looked at the bones in the museums and said, them, not us. But we were wrong. We were gloriously, beautifully wrong. The silence of the extinction was an illusion. They did not die. They hid. They hid in the safest place on earth. They hid inside us. Tonight, for the final leg of our journey, we are not traveling to a place on a map. We are traveling inward. We are going to explore the inner cave. You are the museum. You are the archive. You are the ark. Lie still. Feel the mattress beneath you. It is the earth holding you up. Feel the blanket over you. It is the atmosphere protecting you. You are a landscape, and we are going to walk through that landscape to find the ghosts. We are going to perform a genetic excavation of your own body. Right now, as you drift towards sleep, focus on your skin, your largest organ, the boundary between you and the universe. Feel the air of the room touching your face. Imagine the cells of your skin, millions of them, a wall of protection. Where did you get this skin? Science tells us that when our sapiens ancestors came out of Africa, their skin was adapted to the intense equatorial sun. It was dark. It was built to block radiation. But Europe was dark. The sun was weak. The winter was long. They needed new skin. Skin that could let in the light to make vitamin D. Skin that was tougher, thicker, able to withstand the biting wind and the friction of furs. They got it from the Neanderthals. The genes for keratin, the protein that makes your skin tough, that makes your nails hard, were gifted to us by them. Feel the toughness of your skin. It is a shield forged in the Ice Age. Visualize a Neanderthal mother touching the cheek of a sapiens child, passing on the gift of protection. "Take this," she whispers. "It will keep you safe from the cold." Your skin is a memory of that touch. Let your skin relax. Let it soften. It has done its job today. It has protected you. Now it can rest. Focus on your hair, the hair on your head, the hair on your arms. Feel the texture of it. Is it straight? Is it thick? Geneticists have found Neanderthal markers in the genes that control hair texture. Think of the thick, matted fur of the hunter standing on the ridge. He needed that hair to trap heat, to stop the snow from freezing his scalp. You carry a remnant of that mane. Imagine your hair is not just fiber. It is an antennae. It is tuning into the frequency of the past. Let your scalp relax. Imagine the tension melting away from the top of your head. Melt. Flow. Like snow melting on a warm rock. Focus on your immune system. This is the invisible warrior inside you. Right now, as you lie there, billions of white blood cells are patrolling your veins. They are looking for invaders, viruses, bacteria. Where did they learn to fight? When sapiens arrived in Europe, they encountered new diseases, ancient, cold-loving plagues they had never seen in Africa. They should have died, but they mated with the locals. The Neanderthals had lived there for 300,000 years. They had interviewed every germ in Europe. Their immune systems knew the enemy. They gave us their HLA receptors, the molecular keys to identifying threats, deep inside your bone marrow. Right now, a Neanderthal gene is directing the production of a cell that keeps you alive. You are protected by an ancient shield wall. Feel that protection. A warm, golden light radiating from your bones. You are safe. You are defended by the ancestors. You don't need to worry about the unseen. The old ones are standing guard in your blood. Now, let's go deeper. Focus on your bones. Feel the weight of your skull against the pillow. Feel the solidity of your ribs, the density of your femur. Your skeleton is the scaffold of your life. It is lighter than a Neanderthal's, yes, but it follows the same plan. Focus on the back of your head, the occipital bun. Some of us still have a small bump there, a bony knot at the base of the skull. Reach back and touch it, if you like, or just feel it with your mind. That is a classic Neanderthal feature. It is where the massive neck muscles attached, the muscles needed to balance a heavy head while leaning forward to scrape a hide or track a bison. It is a hard hat built into your biology. Feel your knees. Think of the miles you have walked in your life. Think of the miles times walked. The migration from Africa, the retreat from the glaciers, the walk to the coast. Your legs are restless sometimes at night. Restless leg syndrome. Maybe, just maybe, that is the echo of the migration. The urge to move. The urge to find new hunting grounds. The body remembers that stillness equals death in the winter. Tell your legs, we are home. We have arrived. You can stop walking now. Feel the muscles in your calves uncoil. They are releasing the miles. They are sinking into the earth. Heavy, solid, stone. Focus on your rhythm, your circadian rhythm, your body clock. Scientists have found that Neanderthal genes influence whether you are a morning person or a night owl. They lived in high latitudes, places with long, dark winters and long, bright summers. They had to adapt to changing light. If you find yourself awake at night, staring at the dark, do not be anxious. You are just slipping into Neanderthal time. You are keeping watch. You are the guardian of the fire while the others sleep. It is a noble role. But tonight, you are off duty. The fire is banked. The cave is sealed. The wolves are far away. You can let the rhythm slow down. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Slowing, tick, tock. Slowing, tick, silence. The clock stops. Time becomes a pool of still water. Now, let's go to the brain, the seat of the consciousness. Neanderthals had larger visual centers. They saw the world with high-definition clarity. Close your eyes. Look at the darkness behind your eyelids. Can you see shapes? Can you visualize an apple, a face, a landscape? That ability to visualize, to create an image where there is none. That is the root of art. It is the root of the red handprint on the wall. Think of the Neanderthal artist blowing pigment over her hand. She was projecting her identity onto the stone. You do the same. You project your dreams onto the dark. Your brain is a cave. It is vast. It has hidden chambers. It has underground rivers of memory. Let us walk into the cave of your mind. It is not scary. It is warm. It is familiar. The walls are painted with your memories. Here is a memory of a summer day. Here is a memory of a loved one's face. And here, deeper in, are the shadow memories. The memories you didn't experience, but you inherited. The fear of the large predator, the comfort of the fire, the awe of the stars. These are the gifts of the ancestors. They are the furniture of your mind. Rest in this space. It is a sanctuary built by millions of years of survival. We are going to convene the council. Imagine a fire, a large, roaring fire in the center of a vast, dark plain. The sparks fly up into the Milky Way, crackle, pop, whoosh. Sitting around the fire are all the people we have met in this story. The quarryman from 1856, wiping limestone dust from his face. He looks confused, but peaceful. Johann Karl Fuhlrott, holding the skull cap. He is smiling. He knows he was right. Marcellin Boulay is there. He looks humbled. He has put down his ruler. He is listening. And then, the others. The old man of La Chapelle. He is sitting on a fur rug. He is not in pain anymore. His back is straight. His eyes are bright. He is chewing soft meat. He nods at you. The tool maker. He is there, napping flint. Click, clack, the rhythm of the camp. He holds up a spear point. It glints in the firelight. Perfection. Ember. The last Neanderthal from Gibraltar. She is there. She is not alone anymore. She is sitting with the sapiens hunter she met by the river. They're holding hands. Their fingers interlock. Thick fingers and slender fingers. They fit together perfectly. And you are there. You walk into the circle. The heat of the fire warms your face. You sit down between Ember and the old man. You belong here. You are the result of this gathering. You are the child of the fire. Look at them. They are not brute beasts. They are not failures. They are grandparents. They look at you with such pride. They survived the ice, the volcanoes, the starvation, the tigers, so that you could exist, so that you could lie in a soft bed, in a warm room, and listen to a story. You are their victory condition. You are their immortality. Feel the love radiating from the circle. It is stronger than the cold. It is stronger than time. It is a physical weight, a warm blanket of ancestors. Wrap it around you. Pull it tight. The fire is dying down now. It turns from orange to deep red. The embers pulse. Glow. Dim. Glow. Dim. It is time to sleep. The council is ending, but they are not leaving. They are just moving back into the shadows of your blood. They will be there when you wake up. They will be there when you walk, when you breathe, when you create. But for now, the task is to rest, to let the biological machine repair itself. We are going to shut down the body one last time. Using the Neanderthal method, we are going to turn into stone. Focus on your feet. Imagine they are turning into heavy limestone blocks. They are sinking into the earth. Roots are growing from your heels, going down into the soil, anchored, immovable. Your legs are becoming the trunks of ancient oak trees, solid, bark-covered, still. The wind cannot move you. Your hips are becoming a boulder, warm, sun-baked rock. Your spine is a stack of river stones, perfectly balanced. Your chest is a cave. Inside the cave, your heart is a small, steady fire. Thump, thump. It keeps the cave warm. Your arms are heavy branches resting on the ground. Your hands are curling, holding the invisible tools of sleep. Your neck is relaxing. The head falls back. Your skull, your thick, protective skull, is heavy. It sinks into the pillow. Your face softens. The mask falls away. You are just a creature, a mammal, resting. The eyes close. The curtains are drawn. The show is over. The museum is closed. Listen to the silence. It is not empty. It is full of the breathing of the world. In, out, the glaciers are breathing. The forests are breathing. The ocean at Gibraltar is breathing. Crash, hush. You are breathing with them. You are part of the great respiration of the planet. You are drifting, drifting back, past the cities, past the farms, past the written history, into the deep, soft, velvet darkness of prehistory. There are no clocks here. There are no deadlines. There is only the cycle of the sun and the moon. There is only the season of rest. You are a seed buried in the earth, waiting for the spring. But the winter is long, and the winter is cozy. Sleep, sleep like the old man in his flower grave, peaceful, loved. Sleep like the artist in the cave, dreaming of colors. Sleep like ember by the sea, listening to the waves. You are safe. You are whole. You are human. And you are Neanderthal. And that is a beautiful thing to be. Good night, cousin. Good night, ancestor. Good night,